Hi everybody, welcome to Dice Camera Action, a D&D game of super action and adventure featuring an all-star cast, which this week includes Brooks Donahue. Thank you for joining us again.
Hi guys.
Hashtag who is Brooks Donahue?
Who is Brooks Donahue?
You actually will be able to find out later today if you are on the DCA subreddit. There will be I am doing an AMA later today.
Yay.
Awesome.
But
all right.
has anyone asked how is?
Or who isn't Brooks Donahue?
Yeah, that's the real question. Who am I?
Brooksent.
Who beats?
Yes.
Brooksent. We're devolving. Stop the stream.
Everyone but one person in this stream is Brooksent.
Perfect. That's perfect.
All right. So, previously in Dice Camera Action, a Zentarum operative named Sister Narai came upon the Waffle House after Dieth received a warning from a Zentarum member named Istrid Horn saying that a Xanathar attack was imminent. Sister Narai was able to charm a tiefling urchin named Tulip, who was involved in this attack, and then took her inside the Waffle House. Shortly thereafter, after locking the kids down in the basement where they would be safe, it was soon became apparent that that was not the way to go, because the threat actually came up from below, disintegrating their way into the cellar. Two undead beholders that proceeded to disintegrate their way further into the tap room of the Waffle House. And there a melee ensued, and rays were fired, and undead beholders were killed. Dieth actually got the kids upstairs. I believe they're hiding in Strix's bedroom now. Evelyn's bedroom now.
Yes.
On the third floor. And
where canonically, someone on Twitter mentioned that Evelyn probably has one of those really obnoxious wall hangings with cursive that says, live, laugh, love, Lathander. Probably checking that out.
Oh no, when it's like a really generic font.
And she got it at one of those home decor.
She got it at Crate and Barrel. She would have gotten it at Aurora's Whole Realms catalog.
Marshall.
Actually.
Aurora's Whole Realms catalog. Yes, that's a real thing.
That is a real thing.
Yeah, I've read it.
You ordered it out of the catalog.
Okay.
And so they're upstairs.
Kids are looking at that.
Dieth was able to get Evelyn's flaming sword and throw it to her during the battle, so that she could be armed with something other than a broken bottle.
Look, I was going to shiv a beholder, okay?
Yes. So there is a brief moment of reprieve after the second beholder is killed. There is smoke coming up off of the floor because a fireball was detonated in the cellar underneath, and the cracks in the floorboards is just billowing out toxic smoke right now.
I would like to say sorry.
And you smell burnt hair of what were, at one point, several bugbears down there that got incinerated by the fireball. What do you do after Tulip says, "So you don't want me to call him off then?"
Is that me?
It could be anybody.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just looking shock because this just happens so many times. We're just so bad at communicating.
Dieth just has that look of just.
Yes, Trix just looks guiltily like at the rest of the party. Like.
Dieth will ask if she knew about it. How many were down there? Who's left?
I already asked you. How many?
She says, 24 bugbears, some goblins, and the beholders.
I'll go
I'm
to the
only
hatch.
in charge of the first wave.
Oh, if you
The what?
What?
The what?
If
Panic!
Hey, I mean, it's no big deal, but yeah, if you could call them off now, that'd be great. Thanks for offering.
Please do call them off if you have the ability.
All right. She will look down through the smoke and the disintegrated hatch down the rock rock and earth stairs that lead down into the cellar, and through the smoke. And I can't remember if the darkness is still up, Narai.
I don't think I've taken damage yet.
Okay.
So I don't know why I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still up. So she just calls down to the darkness and says, "If any of you are still alive down there, don't come up. It's all fine here now." And then you all hear what sounds like pipe music, like flute music from somewhere deep down below.
Ruh-roh.
And then she
Is
turns
it
to you and
good
she says,
music?
no, it sounds kind of haunting and sinister. And then she turns to you and says, "Oh, that's Scareth with the pipes. Oh, yeah, she's going to come up with a bunch of rats and other stuff now. Good luck with that. I'm going to be over here, under the
Wait,
stairs."
no.
She hides underneath the spiral staircase.
Thanks for the luck. That's nice.
And then you smell this terrible odor like burnt garbage. And coming up the stairs into the room is a smoking, half-flaming garbage monster,
No.
which some of you have seen before. It's just this shambling mass of refuse.
There's a trash elemental?
Less.
Yeah, so
I thought we killed that.
We didn't solve that problem.
I was working on it.
Paulton, when you see the garbage monster lumber up into the tap room, what do you do? It's your turn.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, is this thing like right up in my grill now?
Yeah. And boy, does it
Cool.
smell.
Okay.
It's like the sewer coming to visit you.
Neat. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna distance myself.
Okay.
Not the best memories of this thing.
Okay. Okay, so you disengage? Is that the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
If I may.
Yes.
And who's nearby me? Who?
Kind of everybody is around you at this point, so.
I just kind of look around like, who's gonna hit this thing? Anyone? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Then I will bardic inspiration for
Evelyn. Okay.
like you do it.
So you'll get a D10, Evelyn, as he strums his.
What's the song like?
It's kind of rushed, so it's just kind of a bunch of notes at once.
I only heard you
Cool.
say it's kind of Rush, so I'm imagining I'm clear.
Yeah, I'm playing Rush. It's pretty dope. Yeah, just
All right.
like bagpipe speed metal.
Sick.
Nice. Okay.
Great.
And while you're doing that, you can hear some thunder outside as the rain continues to pour in the dark night. But
And
your
it accompanies it, right? It like
yes.
fits.
Yeah, exactly.
Like right on the drop. There's like a big crash of thunder.
Evelyn
Right.
headbangs on that moment too. Just bow.
Cool.
All right, Narai, what do you do as as Rush starts playing?
Okay, so the trash mound.
Yeah, you're looking
thing,
at a 7 foot
that's
tall
the only
mound of
foe
trash.
I can see right now.
Correct. It just came up out of the darkness.
Okay.
And you don't see it. It doesn't seem to have eyes or any real anatomy, so you're not surprised it was able to make its way up through the dark.
Tight. All right. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. If you don't, if it's pretty close to me, I'll take a moment to just look at Diath or Paulton or Strix or whoever's close and not engaged, and just say, we need to start considering not staying here.
Oh.
No, that's not happening.
Oh,
This is where we live.
I've been considering.
And I'll yeah. Without another word of that, I'm going to move to this thing.
Okay.
And attack it with 2 unarmed strikes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You start punching away at the garbage pile.
There's the crappy rolls I've been waiting for. Hey. However, these are both +8, so I have a 12
Okay.
and a 14 to hit.
Both of those sort of punch into the garbage ineffectually, but you hit nothing of consequence that would consider to be harming it.
How do I hurt this thing?
Yeah, so you just sort of pull out your now stinky garbage, slime-covered fists and hands.
As he's punching him, it's just like, oh yeah, by the way, don't get near it.
Chris, did it walk through my moonbeam?
It would have gone through the moonbeam, so you can deal some damage.
I would like
spectral
to.
chickens.
Yep, you can also have your spectral chickens attack.
I'm here too.
So give me the damages, and it gets a saving throw against the moonbeam, which it actually failed.
Does anyone remember if I cast that at second or? I think I cast it at third level.
Third level.
Okay, so it's 2d10.
Yep.
Right.
So
That's right.
that's 12 spectral chicken damage.
Okay.
And that's going to be 17 moonbeam damage.
Wow.
More burnt garbage. Bzz.
All
So
right.
I have a quick question. If
Yep.
Narai is still
Sure.
doing things with your garbage hands,
Mhm.
so after hearing Paulton, after I immediately punch it, and Paulton's like, "Yeah, don't do that." I will use my bonus action to disengage, and the remainder
Good.
of my movement to back off a little bit.
Okay. You pull away from this thing, and before it can take any action, right now it's just baking in the moonbeam and getting pecked to death by a spectral chicken.
Yay, hot garbage, my favorite.
Exactly. The floor under Strix explodes as two
I didn't need this.
greenish, warty hands and arms come smashing up through the wood timbers and try to grab her by the ankles.
That was load bearing too.
I scream.
So Strix,
I'm afraid.
that's a 19 to hit you. Which
Yes, of course.
Of course. So you are grabbed by these long-taloned, super strong green claws, and then they pull you down through the floor.
Can I hellish rebuke?
So yes, you absolutely can.
Yeah, it's on fire.
I just restained that hardwood.
There's no that is the least of our worries.
It's okay. The property's still in a prime spot, so like the value's still gonna go up. We're okay.
You think so? Okay.
Cool. We'll tell Magnus that.
It's just gonna
That's,
be big blocky apartments coming up.
That's a 16 deck save for whatever this thing is.
Okay.
It does half damage if it's
Okay. It's succeeded, so it takes half damage.
All right.
Someone in the chat, Perkin, stop ruining Troll Tide.
All right, so that's 17 damage, so half of that is
Okay.
like
And describe for me, so 17 half is 8. Describe for me what the Hellish Rebuke actually looks like normally. Like, does the fire kind of just explode out of you? Does it surround the creature in flame? Does it ignite?
How hellish? How hellish?
I would think it's more of just like a fire sneeze.
Okay.
So kind of just like like a panic, like that.
Okay, so she sneezes fire onto this creature.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Okay.
It's not impressive. It's more panicky.
Yes. And because it's in the area of the darkness, and now you are too, you can't see what it is that you just sneezed on. However, I will let you...
I have dark. Oh no, it's darkness. Never
Yeah, it's
mind.
magical darkness.
JK.
But just make an intelligence check for me.
17.
You think it's a troll.
Right. Because Troll Tide.
Based on
Right.
what pieces of it you actually
Of
saw.
course.
The rest
How
of
did we
you...
not see this coming?
Oh, I have to make another check for something. Okay.
Well, I'm still screaming.
Yes, so the rest of you just see these hands come up through the floor, pull Strix through the floor into the darkness below, and then there's this sort of scream and a whoosh and a sneeze and all kinds of noise.
I also would that mess up my concentration for my chickens as well? Would that break it?
So it didn't do damage to you, but you are getting pulled down through the floor. So I'm going to have you make...
Because yeah, I
gonna
hate to do it to
yeah.
myself. So
I'm going to have you make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, because I was thinking that I'm like, oh, that's not bad. That's 17.
Okay, yeah, you can maintain concentration if you want.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I will.
Okay. And now you are sort of grappled by it in the magical darkness, Strix.
Help!
All right. A second troll smashes its arms through the floor and attempts to grab Evelyn. Rolled,
I'm
a
so triggered by it.
That is a mistake, troll friend.
rolled a natural 20. So grabs her by her little winged legs and rips her down through another hole in the floor.
You guys,
No.
I need you to know how Chris Perkins is a mastermind of like torture, because I don't know if you guys know this, but I had a recurring nightmare as a kid about being grabbed by the ankles and dragged in a haunted house. Not joking. I'm so triggered right now.
So I saw
I
on,
like
on
the
the
tears in my
subreddit-
eyes.
On the subreddit, somebody was like, Chris is getting soft.
Yeah, no one should ever say that.
He totally read that, and I'm sure I want to see this like supervillain origin story.
This is what you guys get. This
Yeah,
is what
who's
you
off?
get.
My tummy
exactly.
hurts.
You
Ugh.
wrote that. Are you happy now? Are you happy?
I don't feel so.
Evelyn, you are pulled down into the magical darkness and can't see squat, and you are in the clutches of some big, strong creature in this darkness. And then you hear Noska's voice in the darkness say, "Can somebody dispel this darkness?"
Oh, I hate him.
I knew he was somewhere.
And you hear the pipe. You hear pipe music coming from somewhere nearby as well.
Man.
Let go of my leg!
Okay, Evelyn, it's your turn. You still got your flaming sword. You can't see the fire or the sword in the darkness.
Can I try to slice at whatever has me by the leg?
Yes, while it's grappling you, you can still attack. So
I want to do like a cool, like a crunch and just like that.
okay, make your attack roll, please.
I'm really glad I gave you your fire sword
Thank you. Oh man,
and not a bottle.
I rolled a 2,
Okay.
but I have a second attack.
Yes, you do.
Okay, this time that's gonna be a 19.
You also have your inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, actually, I'll use my inspiration on that first hit. Can I recon that?
Absolutely.
So 2 plus a d10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I rolled a 10, so 12 plus my modifier is 20.
The music does the thing, and you hit.
That's the thing.
I'm like still moshing, and I just.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the first hit, and that's gonna
Yeah.
be. The greatsword is.
Swinging a flaming greatsword around in magical darkness is always,
That looks pretty metal, I think.
Catch the spirit, catch the spit.
yeah.
Strix is like, I'm here somewhere. Please don't hit me.
So 19 on the first one,
Okay.
and then is the 19 to hit also hit?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So. Oh man. Man, those are horrible rolls. 11 for the second hit.
Okay. All right. So you whack this thing, and you whack it in the darkness, and you did the fire damage as well, right, for the sword? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does it let go of me?
No.
Ugh.
And you feel like you're not only hitting it, but it must be like carrying something else, because you hit something hard,
Oh no.
and you're not sure what it is
Oh
as
no.
you're swinging it around.
But it looks really freaking cool
Well, nobody
in
can
the
see
dark.
it.
No, I mean my flaming sword.
You can't see the flame either,
Why?
because it's magical darkness. It blots out everything.
Cool.
So nobody sees your badass moves, but all of you can hear Strix and Evelyn down in the black dungeon. Strix, what do you do on your turn?
Oh,
You
I
are,
am
you
going
are grappled
to
by this thing.
Misty step the heck out of there.
Okay. And where are you attempting to Misty Step to?
Up.
Back onto the floor of the tap room?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that you can do. No, it
Yeah.
has to be a space that you can see. Sorry.
Oh. The way you said sorry was so smug. I was like, ugh.
So.
Okay. I'm gonna try to polymorph the troll then.
Ba-dum-bum-bum. Polymorphing the troll.
That's a wisdom 16 save.
Transforms a creature you can see. You can't see it.
Working on it. Working on it. Working on it.
Oh wait, oh no, I have counterspell. That can't. Okay, but the chickens are still there. Oh man. Okay. Oh, chickens are okay. Ah, I can polymorph myself.
You can't see
And-
yourself.
You can't see it. Yeah.
I can't see anything. That's
Fucking
great.
come
That's
on.
just great.
Darkness is killer on spellcasters, I gotta say.
Oh, yeah.
Getting
Okay,
so
well, here's
pouty.
what I'm gonna do.
It's not even
I'm
my
gonna-
spell, it's
I'm gonna
Narai's.
finally, you know what I'm finally gonna do is something I've been wanting to do and no one's gonna see it. Is I'm gonna polymorph my staff into a pie pan,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna cast green flame blade on it, and
right.
I'm gonna whack the troll with a pie pan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
No one can see it, but that's what's
Right.
happening.
go ahead and make an attack roll with your pie pan.
Okay. Do I
Your
I-
flaming pie pan.
No, that's not bad.
Twitch must be blowing up right now.
15.
Okay, that hits.
Ha! Okay, so it's 2d8 damage, and then the flame actually moves to another target and does 2d8 plus 4 damage.
Jeez
girl.
Louise.
Smokes.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's for the first troll, it's 10, and then the second troll, it's 11.
Okay.
So
So-
it jumps a target.
Yeah, so there's a whooshing noise down below. Okay, now, what nobody realizes is these trolls are carrying big barrels of smoke powder on their backs.
Oh, Christ.
So,
Of course they are.
I would like everybody to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Everyone?
Everybody.
Everyone.
I just set them on fire.
15 for Evelyn.
Okay.
15 for Evelyn.
Oh, I'm gonna be fine.
23.
I am not
23.
gonna be fine. Mariah
Am I in your aura,
Oh, okay.
Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay.
Sick.
So then that's 16 for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
actually,
Dia?
I think that includes me too. So actually, I get another. I get on top of that. I get like 20 actually.
I rolled 15.
Okay. So, sorry, I'm drawing on the map here. There is
Just scratch off that part of the house.
there is a monumental explosion in the basement. The whole place fills with flame. The entire building shudders. A roughly 25-foot square section of the floor is completely blown away into flinders underneath you. And everybody in the tap room is caught in the blast.
This is the second time our tap room has exploded.
This, not like this. Literally, the entire bar is just disintegrated. And all the furnishings, you see the case get completely ripped away and
This
blown
is-
to smithereens.
This is some
just
deep
built that!
vendetta shit right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, and
Got a demo to rent.
Is the house still standing?
no. Someone called
Yeah.
the Property Brothers.
This is so
It's a big
sad.
house.
Can we get a return on our investment?
Yeah, did you guys get close to paying off the mortgage on this thing or what?
okay.
It's
Technically not
We're
ours.
renting.
We were renting.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
All right.
Waffle crew
The
of
HOA is
millennials.
going to have a field day, I swear.
We're not getting our deposit back.
Everybody,
Tackle it, it's fine.
everybody except so Evelyn, Paulton, Diath, you each take 17 points of fire damage.
Is that a failed save?
That's a successful save.
Then I take no damage thanks to my supreme evasion.
All right. Holly, Strix has fire resistance because she's a tiefling, so you take 8 points of fire damage.
All right.
Narai, you take 34
Ugh.
points of fire damage. And you are blown out through one of the front windows, which actually doesn't have any glass in it at the moment.
Yeah, we've been meaning to replace that too.
And you're just sort of propelled out onto the front porch, right at the foot of Lance the donkey, or Lance the mule, who just kind of licks you as you're lying there crooked on the ground.
Okay.
And when you look back through the open window that you just got shot out of, you can see there is just smoke and a roughly 20-foot square hole in the middle of the tap room with an open basement in which you can see your domed, well, actually, your darkness is probably gone at this point.
Yeah, I'm going to just kind of take the L on that one and say I lost.
So the darkness sort of
Gotta stay
disappears, and now they've just got this kind of open basement in the middle of their tap room.
Cats.
Hey, Brooks, what level monk are you?
I am.
Don't tell them that.
Oh, never mind, sorry.
I'm just wondering because if he happens to be 7th level or higher, he would have evasion, so you would have taken half fire damage.
Well, wait. That's the thing. So I might not be up to my rule stuff on this. I do have evasion.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask if that's something that would mitigate the damage on a failed save or just on a
It
success
works
save?
on both. So
Okay.
instead, you end up taking 17 points of damage because
That
of your
is-
evasion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So failed is no damage, or success is no damage. Failed is half damage.
Okay.
Right. So you took half damage.
66.
So
I'm just trying to keep our guest player alive
Okay.
for once.
there we go.
Yay!
Chris, don't tell him that.
I mean, there's going to be some complexity.
See,
coming up
Nate
with
can
the
ask those
RPG.
questions because
Oh,
he can
right.
break the fourth wall.
Got it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, that was Jared rules
That's cool.
lawyering
No,
because
no,
I'm
I
trying to get anything.
Well, I misunderstood how evasion works, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
No problem.
The garbage monster is still alive in the room, but also took significant amounts of damage from the
Believe
blast.
it or not, it has evasion as well, having 16 levels of monk.
No, alas, it does not. And you can see over in a corner the sort of smoking, unconscious body of the tiefling urchin just sort of lying there splayed out on the floor.
Okay. I heard unconscious and body, and that says two different things.
Okay, the next round, that was all Strix.
Sorry.
That sure was, wasn't it? That was all Strix.
Diath, you
You
come,
hear her
Diath, you come crawling out of the fireplace, just blackened with soot. There's a big gaping hole right in front of you where you can see down into the smoldering pit of the basement. It is full of bodies, namely blown apart troll parts, and all kinds of dead, blackened, smoking bugbear corpses. You can also see Evelyn kind of lying in on top of the torso of a troll that is sort of twitching, and you can see these troll arms crawling their way back towards it.
From explosion? All right, so I'm just kind of crawled out. I'm like covered in just shit and explosion. I'm just like, all right. So for Mariah, can I see Evelyn and Strix? Or
Yes.
all right, and do those two seem okay to me?
Strix is holding onto a flaming frying pan that's wreathed in green flames.
And she looks really mad. She's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
And she only looks like slightly singed.
All right. How much fire is still just kind of about?
Oh, all kinds. There are walls and floorboards on fire. There's a chair that's on fire. It looks like the Strahd chair avoided the
I was
blast.
gonna say, which chair?
I was also going to note the irony of the fact of you finding yourself in the fireplace and it being one of the only places that is not actively on fire.
Right.
And technically, Diath has been in fireplaces many times.
Yes. The rafters are on fire.
So do I see any immediate threats? You said the shambling mound,
You can hear
the garbage monster.
So from your point of view, actually, you can see the hole in the basement that was basically disintegrated out to allow the forces to infiltrate your house. And coming from that tunnel is the sound of pipe music, flute music, still playing. It's
Cool.
about 30 feet away from you.
All right. That hole was never there before, right? Wait, we
Correct.
didn't just complete. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the beholders made it with their disintegration eye rays.
Oh, son of bitches. All right. But the troll hands are crawling towards Evelyn right now.
Very, very slowly. that troll is not going to be able to knit itself back together anytime soon.
Okay. Still a concern and something I can quickly take care of at least.
The other troll, by the way, doesn't look like it's so badly burnt you don't even think it's...
Yeah, the other one is so burnt. Like he's not... Okay. But one is trying to. Okay, so DS will kind of slowly get to his feet, go to one of his belt pouches, take out one of his flasks of oil, will light it on one of the nearby flames and just throw it at the troll arms.
Okay.
Just to ignite those and finish them off with some fire.
You do. They're dead.
Great.
They burn up and they twitch their little fingers and are no longer moving.
And then it's looking around to make sure the house is structural integrity is still holding up, and maybe looking toward the stairs or upstairs and listening for the kids or Waffles or Simon.
Yeah, you can see there's a hole where the spiral staircase normally sits, and you don't hear anything coming from it.
Okay.
There is another way upstairs, but it's an outside route, outside set of stairs.
That sounds like they're behaving up there. Good on them.
Cut to the kids upstairs in Evelyn's bedroom. Nat, Jenks, and Squidly, the three of you feel the blast shake the entire house. All of the furniture in Evelyn's room shakes. That thing hanging up on the wall, the Love Lathander sign, shakes and rattles. Her mirror shakes and rattles. You see Simon has just returned to the room, and he's got what looks like a little tray on wheels, and he sort of parks it in a corner facing the door, and he screws on this armature and then pulls it back with rope and affixes a hand axe to it. And then just sort of starts unspooling wire and stretching it from that little makeshift axe throwing device to the door.
He's setting a trap?
A Home Alone situation?
It looks very much like it.
But with Simon,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it looks like he had all this stuff kind of hidden away in various corners of the house.
Nat asks him, "What are you doing?"
He tries to sign using the limited language you've got, suggesting that just make an intelligence check to see if you can interpret his gestures.
I rolled 17.
Okay. You get the impression that he says it's homemade defenses
Don't we need
in
to
case
help?
the monsters come.
Go down and help?
And then he gives you a gesture which you interpret to mean that he is protecting you
Oh.
I don't need protecting.
and that we should stay here. And then when you say that, he's just like, eye roll, goes back to stringing the wire across the door.
Jenks is just jumping on Evelyn's bed.
Okay.
Dirty food.
Oh my gosh, she's gonna be so mad.
There's actually a lot of spring in the bed, so at one point he just sort of bounces himself right off.
Yeah, he's like, oh, my mom never let me do this.
Yeah. And so Simon's busy rigging what appears to be some sort of axe hucker.
Axe hucker. Is that the technical term?
We're gonna huck you up.
Great.
Do the kids want to do anything else?
Nat will ask Squidly if Squidly thinks we should go help, or if we should stay.
Squidly's like, oh, you think, all right, we probably should go. That's what you said, right? All right, let's go. And Squidly just goes for the door.
Okay, and you know there are two doors into Evelyn's bedroom. There's the door that Simon is currently stringing the wire across, and then there is the door to the private bath that Evelyn has, which also has a door out off of it leading into the hall. So you don't have to go through that door, Squidly, but I know you're going to go through that door, Squidly.
Which door is closer? Is the
one that
question.
Simon is rigging with the wire.
Squidly was not listening and goes for that door.
Okay. When you do, Simon just sort of goes hand up on the door.
Squidly looks at it and like high fives his hand. Like, yeah, now I gotta go.
So you,
Ken.
okay. Just make a d20 roll to open the door, resisting the puppet as it's trying to keep the door closed.
That's a 9.
Okay, you're not able to get the door open.
You're
I go, hi, Squidly,
Huh?
over there. And I
What?
point to the other door.
No, I peed earlier.
Jenks is just like, let's just stay here. It's fine. Where's Waffles, by the way? Is Waffles with us?
Probably in her den.
Okay, imagine she's just like there like a cat, just like licking her bits, like waiting for this to be over.
Yes.
But yeah, I'll just be like, I will always stay here. The explosion sounds bad.
But we're adventurers.
We can be adventurers after this place isn't exploded anymore.
Is there like a window?
There are
God.
2 windows, one facing the front, one facing the side alley, and there is a fireplace.
Okay, cool. I Squidly would still not think to use the other door, so he's gonna try and like climb out the nearest window.
Okay. Yeah, so he opens up a window. It's a little stuck because it hasn't been opened in probably years, but does he want to drop down the front of the house or the side of the house? If he goes out the side window, he'll land on the roof of the kitchen, which is actually a 1-story adjoining building.
Can Nat just grab him by the shirt and just drag him over to the other door? Just like,
I was on it. Come on.
Yeah, you can grab him by the, his,
she just grabs him by the back of the tunic and is just like long suffering and just pulling him
Yeah.
along.
Uh,
And then she looks at Jenks and she's like, "Are you scared, or are you an adventurer?"
No, I'm an adventurer. That dirty lady keeps telling me that I know magic, so let's go.
All right, so you head out through the private bath, cross the room.
Simon doesn't even try to like sign anything to us or anything. He just like rolls his eyes.
Yeah, kind
I've
of.
never related to Simon harder.
Squidly's just
Yes, Squidly discovers the back way.
guys, did you know?
Okay. And once you get out in the hall, the 3 of you can see that there are stairs going up and down in the hall. The downstairs ones will head down to the 2nd floor, which is closer to the danger. Meanwhile, let's see, what's next? Oh, good.
No, bad.
Great.
So Diath, Noska, comes
God.
out into the basement through that tunnel, stepping over the body parts of the trolls and the dead bugbears. And he sees Evelyn and Strix in the pit. Then behind him, you see a ogre come lumbering out. This ogre is all sort of undead, patchy flesh falling off. You can see bones in various parts of its skull exposed. But it's holding what appears to be a large fishing pole. And hanging on the end of the pole, you, Strix, Evelyn, all see that there is what looks like to be a paper mache, maybe made out of garbage and other things, beholder, about 5 feet in diameter, with eye stalks. And it's just holding onto this thing and wading out into the basement and kind of swinging it around. This beholder has a big central eye and no mouth that you can see, and eye stalks sort of glued to the top of it, and what look like magical lights cast on its eye stalks, sort of blinking and just sort of shooting lights in all directions.
Happy Troll Tide.
What?
Is that like a Trolltide decoration? Do we recognize that as
It
something?
looks like a
pinata.
beholder pinata on the end of a big giant fishing pole.
Maybe there's candy in it.
Yeah.
Do I think that maybe that could be something that like Xanathar is seeing through?
Yeah, I feel like
Make
it's
an
gonna be like
Arcana
a,
check if you want.
I feel like it's a Xanathar effigy or some shit.
That's
Zenyatta.
only a 12.
Okay, well, you can ascertain that the glowing eyes is a very minor magical effect. That's
Right.
easily produced by thaumaturgy and other minor cantrip spells and things like that. It's pure razzle-dazzle. This is clearly, however, an inanimate thing.
Okay.
But at that point, this creature just sort of stops and holds this thing in the middle of the room, and it sort of looks, just sort of swings it around so it can see everything.
Oh, so yes.
Oh no.
And then the paper
The
mache
answer is
garbage beholder kind of looks at you, Paulton.
Come on.
And that's all that happens at that point.
Good.
And then Noska says, "Where are the rats? Send in the rats!" And it is Paulton's
Wait,
turn.
send them in, Noska!
He says to you, Evelyn, "We've never met before. I don't know you."
Oh!
Huh.
Paulton?
Can I roll an insight check on that? No, I have to wait till my turn.
Paulton, you sort of pull yourself up amid some knock some garbage that a shattered table that fell on top of you after you were thrown across the room. You can see that this fake beholder is bobbing around, looking at you weirdly.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So let me see here. Can I? Oops. Yeah. So I am like 4,000% over anything remotely beholder.
Mm-hmm.
So what's this? So it's like pretty messed up in here.
Oh yes.
Cool.
There's not much
Chris
floor
sounds so
left.
broken up about it, too.
There's not much floor left. There's jagged edges of floor around basically the perimeter of the tap room. There's like a 4 to 5 foot jagged edge.
To shreds, you say?
Yes.
Is there like a safe? Do I see somewhere that seems like it'd be a safe distance that's like kind of hidden away from this beholder?
Yeah, you could
nada?
hide behind the stone bulk of the fireplace. You can actually go all the way.
I was gonna say you could take my fireplace spot.
How far is that? That doesn't seem far enough.
From your point of view, it's probably about like 15 feet away.
Okay, is there anything farther?
Other than finding a way upstairs, no. Or going outside. There's that possibility.
Can I see outside?
Yeah, through broken windows, you can see out into the rainy night.
All right, this beholder like pinata thing comes
Yeah.
out, and I get up, I see it, I'm just like, nope, and I just open a dimension door and just appear outside.
All right, after you
Nope.
leave, the rest of you see what it looks like a magic mouth appear on the beholder where its mouth should be.
Nope.
And it says, "I'm not what you want, but I'm exactly what you need."
You're Paulton from outside. See, that's why I noped.
Take a bite and feed. Satisfaction guaranteed.
I get that reference.
All right, and
Bitch.
it is Narai's turn.
Okay, so, peeling herself.
Yes, as you pick yourself up, you see a dimension door out in the rain appear, and Paulton is about like 50 feet away outside the house, standing in the rain.
Peeling herself from the wet cobblestones, and popping her neck with a grisly cracking sound reminiscent of shuffling cards. She looks back into the remains of the house.
Little fires burning here and there.
Yeah, and would she see Tulip, or do you want me to roll for that?
You would see Tulip taking stock of all the surroundings. You see her; she's sort of lying under a table.
She looks
smoking.
dead. Yeah.
She's not moving.
Okay, so her eyes will get wide and kind of looking around for a spot that looks relatively stable and relatively dark. She's going to duck into the shadows and shadow step to Tulip.
Okay.
And kind of like grab her.
Yes, you emerge from the shadows right next to Tulip and sort of hoist her up to close to your body. And she is limp. She's just...
All right, I'll kind of like sort of sit her up on my hip, I guess, or
Okay.
something like that. And then, is there anyone else in here? Because
Yeah.
Paulton's like over there. So if
Yeah,
there's anyone else,
Diath is about 10 feet away, out just next to a fireplace, and then Evelyn is about 10 feet away, but down in the basement in front of you.
I'm going to look to Diath and just say, "Where are the rest of the children?"
They're all upstairs.
We need to leave now. Unless we don't, I don't know. I mean,
This is our house.
but she's but steely-eyed, she will say, "We need to get out of here, or we need to get them out of here."
Yeah.
Now, Shadow Step for you is a bonus action?
That is a bonus action, so I have a full
you
move.
still have your move.
So, is there time for Diath to answer, or just to like
He can
indicate
if he
or something
wants,
like that?
yeah.
Dieth will just look upstairs.
She's going to the stairs are gone.
The stairs are
right?
gone. Now there's just a hole in the ceiling leading up to the level above.
Okay.
Now she could, because the ceilings aren't terribly high, she could basically try to spring off a table and grab the lip of the hole. But
Parkour.
that would be hard to do with the tiefling in her hands.
Okay. Would I have noticed the exterior staircase when I was scoping out the place?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to.
It's actually behind the wall that you're standing next to right now, but there's no window
Great.
access.
So in that case, I'm going to look at Diath and just kind of curtly nod. Use my move to bring Tulip out to the porch, and then whatever remains of it. And as soon as I've put her in a safe spot, whatever remains of my move will be used to try and get up to the stairs.
Okay, it'll be 40 feet to get her out of the building.
Okay, I have another 10 feet to get up the up toward the stairs.
Okay, so you make your way
So
toward
at
the stairs.
base of the stairs, yeah.
All right. So Sister Narai acts quickly, takes Tulip out, and then disappears from view of most other characters except Paulton, who sees her deke around the corner of the building. And then it would be the troll's turn, but they're dead. Evelyn.
So
You're standing in the wreckage of the basement with Nazca, the undead ogre holding the beholder pinata.
and all it has said is what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
He called out to Paulton and said, "I'm not what you want, but I'm exactly what you need."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Like an 80s music homage.
Do I have a sense of whether that pinata thing is an enemy?
It looks like an object strapped to the end of a fishing pole, which has a magical mouth on it.
And Nazca is holding it?
No, the undead ogre standing next to
The undead
Nazca is
ogre.
holding it. It looks too big and awkward for a one-armed dwarf to carry around.
Well, Nazca just said we've never met before.
Right.
So I'm going to say I see. And it's almost as though things are now coming to light. And we may now know each other in this moment. She's like trying really hard to like ask, "Are you a double agent?" But she's really not good at like double speak at all. So I don't know. Yeah, she says that to him and sees if she can get a response.
He says, "You have trifled with the Xanathar and killed his minions, and thus you must pay a terrible price. A terrible price."
Can she roll an insight check?
Sure.
Okay. She rolls a 10.
Okay, she's a little bit confused by this. But your best sense is, even with a 10, that he is behaving the way a child behaves when they're with their parent and they realize they've done a bad thing and they don't want the parent to know.
Okay. And no one is now in imminent danger, right?
Not unless the beholder does something.
Okay.
But
So
yes,
I'm just gonna have.
there's no threatening posture here.
Okay. Evelyn's gonna hold action with the flame sword
Okay.
until either of them do anything threatening.
Okay.
Quick question: the trash elemental is gone, right?
It is still alive up on the upper level.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
Okay. And now it is Strix's turn.
So no one's attacking.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
But you did hear Noska call out for rats.
He did call out for
The
rats.
second wave.
Oh, I hate this. Which way are the rats? Do I hear rats?
There is the pipe music.
Make
The
a
pipe music.
yeah.
Can I make a check?
Make a check. Perception.
All right, that's 14.
You don't hear anything else besides the pipe music from
Okay.
deeper in the sewers or bowels of that dark tunnel.
Alrighty. I think what I'm gonna do. Can I bring my chickens down here?
They're stationary, I think. Let me double check that. Spirit Guardians, right?
Yes. If they're not stationary, then I'm going to recast it at 5th level.
They flit around you to a distance of 15 feet. So if you move, they presumably go with you.
Okay. I would like to have those chickens with me.
Okay.
And maybe position them where I hear this music coming from.
That would be the tunnel that the ogre zombie just came out of.
Okay. So I'm just gonna, I think there's like, what, 2 of them?
They circle around you, so they're
Okay.
basically in a 15-foot perimeter around you.
Okay, cool. So the chickens are like, and they're gonna go, I'm gonna get kind of close to that door and just position it so that the chickens are sort of in the way of that door.
Okay, that will put you between that tunnel and Noska and the zombies. You will be between them.
All right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shuffle over there and I don't mind me.
Noska looks very concerned about the chickens.
It's just me. Don't worry about that, Noska. Do you remember us? I don't think you do. And just like walking backwards, just like talking. I'm still holding my frying pan, by the way.
Okay. And then it is Diath's turn. Diath, you see the garbage monster start to shamble back into its form. You see the ogre zombie look sort of hungrily towards Strix over its shoulder. And
The chickens are like,
you can actually see the zombie sort of clenches that rod and looks like it might just whack her with it or something.
Uh-huh. And where was Strix going? Towards the tunnel?
Toward the tunnel.
standing in front of the
Sort
tunnel.
of interposing
with,
herself in the tunnel.
Cool.
with the intention of doing something stupid.
I know. So the garbage monster, does it seem to me like it's still trying to pose a threat to me? Or?
Yeah. Yes, it does. And you being the only real threat up here at the moment seem the most likely target.
Cool. That's only because I'm still up on this floor.
Right.
Right?
Yes.
Right. I hate Nazca. I hate him. So DF is going to stand up, pull out Gutter in one hand, reverse grip, pull out Moon Splinter from the other. And,
My blade is bigger.
Cutter has some issues.
stay quiet. You'll get what you want. Dieth, standing up, goes to Misty Step using Moon Splinter, but he's jumping backwards at the same time. So as he's jumping backwards, he's vanishing, making it look like he's going that way. And he's going to appear directly behind Nazca and put Gutter to his back.
Oh.
That's so cool.
Okay. Done.
And then immediately says, call him off now.
What? This is. He sort of looks up at the beholder swinging on the end of the fishing pole and says, it doesn't look like I have much choice. And he says, but maybe you should negotiate with my boss, the Xanathar.
Dieth nudges the point of the sword into him just a little bit and says, I'm negotiating right now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Right. But I'm just an enforcer. I don't have negotiating skills.
Also, picks up on this and she's like, "Don't waste your time with that petty enforcer. He's no good to anyone."
What?
He says this is the boss.
So the magic mouth on this beholder puppet.
Yeah.
This it seems like it's only delivering a message. It's not conversing with us, right?
Correct.
All right. Again, Dieth is like that blade just close to piercing through him and breaking skin through his back, and says, "Tell them to all go away, or you fall here."
When Dieth does that, Strix turns her pie pan into the owlbear plushie and just like holds it.
Okay. He will say, I'm calling off the attack. Everybody, stand down. Stand down. And he will sort of untighten his crossbow. Just sort of.
Good.
And says, I think we could call this a victory.
You did it. Dieth will then say, yeah, this is all part of the negotiations. And he'll lead in close to Nazca and try to whisper something to his ear.
Okay.
In hopes that perhaps other people nearby may not hear it, certain individuals, and just say, if you want negotiations, tell your boss, I know what the Zentarum want and where they're going.
Okay.
Call up for your attacks, leave us be, and you'll get what you want to.
Make a perception or a persuasion check. Or intimidate, actually, because you've got a knife in his back.
Okay. Where is my intimidate?
Can I assist your intimidation by looking scary behind you?
With your plush toy?
Would that really assist? Would that really be an assist?
I'm really scary.
It's kind of killing the mood here, Strix.
8.
Okay.
Assist.
Like, you could give me eyes, like, you be a scary demon, witch.
All right. He don't. So, your nervousness seems to register with him.
Damn it.
And
that sounds about right.
He says, the Xanathar is not to be trifled with, and he always gets what he wants. And he wants you to pay for all the crimes that you've committed against him and his organization.
I forget, what was Narai during all this?
Where was she?
So Narai
She's
is
gone.
out. Yeah, she's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she wouldn't have heard your Zentarum bit.
Okay, good. Dieth will then say, I'm trying to repay. At no point did we have any quarrel with you. Leave us alone. Let me keep doing my thing, and I can keep giving you the information and things that you need.
So
Your attacks, your hostilities, completely misguided.
Okay. And so you want me to tell the Xanathar then that hostilities should stop and that you'll give information of value of some kind?
Right. Tell him that the Zentarum trust me.
Okay.
And should your boss, if he knows anything about negotiations business and what the value that information has, he'll know that this is not an opportunity he wants to ruin.
Okay. The garbage monster sort of leaps off and tries to land on top of Strix.
Oh.
God damn it.
I asked.
I don't control that.
She's just holding the plush
right.
against her. It's
Okay.
still on fire too, by the way.
Okay. So it just falls on top of you, Strix. This mass of garbage
You
just
just
sort
do
of
this.
buries you. It rolled a 26 on the attack roll, so yeah, it's going to hit you.
26.
Yeah, it does 13 points of damage as it lands on top of you.
Ow.
And you are engulfed.
Help.
So as it falls on her, there's just like a hand sticking out with like an owlbear toy. But there,
It just tumbles out.
yeah.
It's just like.
But now Strix is completely submerged in this garbage monster. And
It was 13, right?
what's that? 13.
13 points,
Yep,
okay.
13 points of damage. The kids come barreling down the stairs.
The side stairs or the
No,
non-existent staircase?
not the spiral staircase. This is farther upstairs. They come down from the third floor to the second floor into the second floor hall, and when they get to the bottom of the hall, I would like all of them to roll a d20. Squidly,
Oh, God.
Jenks, and Nat.
Okay, Jenks got a 14.
Okay.
13.
Okay. So as they're making their way across the hall, the damage on the floor below has weakened the floor here, and Nat goes through a weakened section.
No!
Oh, shit!
Language!
So roll another
Fall.
roll another d20 for me, Anna.
Jenks calls out some spells that aren't real.
Yeah.
Featherfall.
Roll the 4.
Okay. So Nat
You wouldn't kill
goes
a kid, would you?
through. Nat goes
Again.
through the roof, tries to grab hold of like some rafters and lanterns in the tap room to break her fall, but none of them get close, and she just sort of falls and lands in the basement on the where are they?
Garbage?
Looking. That would put her there. So,
Ogre?
yeah. So
Spectral chicken?
so
What catches her?
at this point in
Spare
time, Evelyn, she is basically falling on top of you. So you see this kid fall, and just make a dexterity check.
All right, I'm going to use a
check.
different die.
One hand. Just use one hand. You still have a flaming sword. One hand.
Yeah.
Anna, come on.
And the right hand, too.
Anna,
I don't know what's wrong with me.
you're saving yourself here. Anna.
I rolled a 5.
Okay. So doesn't even notice her really.
I hate everything.
Okay, and
Evelyn's just like,
so Nat just goes into the refuse and debris all in the basement, right next to the garbage monster, actually. And Squidly and Jenks, you look through a hole in the ceiling down into the tap room.
Dad!
You okay?
Cure wounds.
Whoa.
Don't say anything if you're alive.
Don't say anything.
What?
How is she?
Well, let's see. She fell about a total of, let's see, that'd be about 15 feet. And you're not sure. She's just kind of
Great.
lying there at the moment.
Cool. That's cool.
So it is now Paulton's turn.
Okay, so I am outside,
Yes, you are.
away from Garbage Monster. Did I see it like jump down?
No, that would have been too far inside
Okay,
for you to have seen.
so I'm just kind of
You hear a voice behind you and
Oh,
above
good.
you, and there's a silhouette in a window shouting, "What is going on over there?"
Oh, like in another house?
Yeah, across the square.
We have neighbors?
Yes, you do.
Shut up, Mr. Carruthers. Go mow your lawn.
It's like, what's going on up there? Paul turns around. He's like,
Don't
shut
you
up, old
people
man.
sleep like normal folk?
It's none of your damn business.
Happy Troll died, you douche.
Go back to sleep. You need your 40 hours. You're dying.
I hate festivals.
They hate you.
All right.
Happy Troll Tide.
Fun.
And what do you do after that exchange?
This was definitely a movie.
After that, so is anything really happening out here?
It's raining, but other than that, no. When you look down Troll Skull Alley, there's nobody out. Everybody's inside. There's lights in windows all down the square. You can see the rain-drenched wicker troll that was sort of set up in the middle of the square that never got lit here because the weather turned sour. And it's just kind of doused in the rain. It makes for sort of a strange haunting presence, though, staring blindly in your direction.
Blech. Okay. Can anyone, do I think anyone can hear, can I like call out to see if anyone can hear me inside?
Sure. Yeah, and since there's no windows or anything, when you call out, they can hear you.
Hey, who's around? Who hears me?
You hear a voice out in the rain of Paulton.
Hello?
All of us hear it?
Except for Narai. And Strix, because she's got garbage in her ears.
Am I far from him? Or is he on like the other end of the manor from me?
He's out.
said
He's
saw
out in
me.
front of the manor. Actually, you would hear him too as you're making your way up the stairs,
Okay. I mean,
but you wouldn't be able to see him from your angle.
okay. Turn
Uh,
incredulously at the voice.
Okay. I guess nobody's responding to you, Paulton.
I'll just shout back. No, go ahead, Evelyn.
Hi!
All right, good enough. And I'll just do another bardic inspiration.
Okay. So you start playing out in the rain.
Yep.
All right, great.
Evelyn's
Oh,
like,
just like slamming on the lute with like water drops falling off
Yes.
of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Super metal.
Narai,
Like the silhouette, just like the drops sprinkling off.
The neighbors again. Hi.
Narai at
You
the
shut up!
Narai,
calling the
Narai
cops.
at the top of the stairs. You get to a door that's locked.
Is there a second landing? Because I'm like looking for these kids.
You're okay.
if
So
I
you're
see on
you're
the second landing and I see the kids come down through the hall, I can be like, and like
you
stop.
can't. You've got a door blocking any view you have to the inside of the second floor.
Okay. I know the kids are upstairs.
Yeah. Now
I don't know
above
if they're
you,
upstairs
above
or
you
if
there
they're
is a
all
window
upstairs.
on the third floor. That's probably closer to where you want to get to, or you could try to get through this door.
I would. There's no window on my current floor.
Correct.
Okay. I will. I'm going to move up to the top of the stairs.
Mhm.
Check the window.
Okay. You kind of have
and
to leap
use
up to
time.
it to reach it.
Okay. I mean, I'll just basically what I'm going to do is just sweep the house for the kids and take it
Okay.
and if it
Well,
means
at the
dashing,
moment,
I
at the
will
moment,
dash.
you can't get into the house.
Oh, okay.
So you're
well,
you're on the outside staircase leading up to the second floor, and you come to a door that's locked and a window on the level above.
Okay. I'm just going to make an assumption. I'm going to go for the door.
Okay.
And I will roll. I assume a strength check or an unarmed strike.
To break it
something
open.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a
Okay,
strength.
I kind of do.
Strength athletics.
All right. Cool. What sheet? What sheet?
And it's kind of a old narrow door, so.
Okay, I rolled a 14.
You barrel through it.
Okay.
Okay, so you
And
kick it
what do
open.
I see?
You can see a room that has bits of what used to be a spiral staircase sort of strewn across it. It looks like an old common room, but it's just really kind of a dusty, old, empty room at the moment with some a grime-covered window at one end and open doors leading one way and the other. And through one of the open doors, you can see a hallway that has two kids looking down a hole in the floor. One of the kids is a tiefling boy with an eye patch, and the other one is a portly human boy wearing like a wizard's robe and clutching a little stuffed owlbear.
These are the kids that were immediately hustled upstairs after I arrived or before I arrived.
Two of them. The third appears to be missing, a taller girl.
I'm going to, with my oh, you were going to say something?
Nope.
Okay. With my hands kind of like up. Muted. Okay. So with my hands kind of up to show that I don't mean any harm.
Yeah.
I'm going to non-aggressively jog / run toward them and say, "Where's the third one of you?"
Quidley immediately shoots an arrow at him.
So yeah, you see this woman.
I got this.
So you see this woman. You see this woman come at you. Just roll your d20, Nate.
10.
Okay.
Okay, so
Warning shot.
can I roll for that? Because I have deflection.
Yeah, you don't even have to. So this arrow comes at you, and you just catch it in the air.
And I'm
They're
gonna
really
give the tiefling kid the hairy eyeball. And
Okay.
Ah, magic!
the look that says none of that. And says, "I'm here to help. Where's the third one of you?"
Can I have that back?
I just Jinx will just point down the hole and be like,
Just-
she fell.
Yeah.
An exhausted sigh and holding it out to him without looking, and then peering down the hole.
When you look through the hole in the burnt timbers, you can see that the little girl fell quite a distance, not only down into the tap room, but way down into the basement.
Oh no. Okay. I'm going to turn to them and just say, "Head out the back staircase. Your friend with the loot is outside."
Oh, what about, should we get the owl bear?
Do I know about the elder yet?
I'm glad you mentioned that because as
That's definitely like a
Jenks
record scratch moment
sort
if
of
we get
points, you turn, you see this owlbear come barreling out of the other door across the hall right for you.
Oh, Waffles, no!
Jeez.
Here's Squidley's like, that's our fish!
Waffles, no!
Yeah. So, and it's very clear to you, Narai, that this creature is just ginormous. This owlbear is very, very big, gray feathered creature. It's slavering and charging toward you threateningly.
Jinx is gonna try and call Waffles, stop!
Okay. Yeah. Does the kid have any effect on this thing, or is it in go mode? Is it in?
So when he calls out to it, she sort of puts on the brakes and kind of stops and then just sort of stares at you.
Okay. I'm going to look at them, all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
Having looked down this floor hole at the crumpled body of a third kid.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look at the non bow and arrow kid who did not try and shoot me, and say the back staircase, and then is there a shadow nearby that I can step into?
Oh yeah, there's lots.
Okay, great. So I will shadow step my way to the basement to tend to this kid.
All right, so you appear out of shadow next to the kid.
Okay, and then there's
And you hear bagpipe music playing out in the rain.
What is going on? Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, so having moved and shadow stepped.
Yes,
I still have an attack that I can make.
you do.
Is it immediately apparent to me that Strix is being
Devoured by a
in the
garbage
gulf
monster?
of this garbage. Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Like Strix is just like, this is my fate.
I have this sense.
I knew it would happen.
Very Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Died in what I love.
If there's any opportunity, would using an Eldritch Blast hurt her?
No.
Okay, done.
All right, so crackling energy erupts from Sister Narai. Does it come from your hand? Does it come from your eyes, your mouth? What?
No, it'd just be from my hand.
Okay, great. And you start to blast the crap out of this garbage pile.
Which is really all that it is.
Yeah.
So that's going to be... Do I roll for that?
It's an attack roll.
Okay.
Yeah, using your spell attack bonus.
First attack is an 11 plus 6.
Hit.
17. Next one is a 9 plus 6, so 13.
2 hits.
Yeah. 13? 15.
15.
Excuse me.
Yep.
I'm bad at math. 1d10. Oh, geez. This is a die I don't have out. Nah. Okay, here we go. First one is going to be 3 damage. Next
Okay.
one is going to be 2 damage.
All right, so you start to just vaporize pieces of this creature, but there's more of it to love. And then it is Evelyn's turn. So Evelyn, Narai just sort of appeared out of the shadows right next to you, next to the kid, and next to the garbage monster, which she is currently blasting with beams of energy.
And I saw this child just fall
Yes.
right next to me.
Yes.
I would like to examine the fallen child.
Okay. She looks like she could use some healing.
Is it the blood that tipped you off, or is it like kind of the way your bones are sticking out?
I want to gather her up
Okay.
and lay on hands.
All right. How much healing do you want to give her? Doesn't look
How
like
many-
doesn't look like there's much to her. She's a thin rail of a girl, so
Yeah, I mean, Evelyn would have some sense of how much healing a little girl needs.
like
right?
5, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, so she gives her all that. Maybe
Okay.
maybe like 7 for good measure. Just
Okay.
top her
Yeah. So
Not for any biased reasons.
off. No.
So Nat, you awaken with your hit points back, and sort of cradled in the arms of this saintly figure.
Nat wakes up and says, "Thank you." And then she says, "Where's DF?"
She probably sees Diath in not too far away, like maybe 7-8 feet away, with a blade to a dwarf's back.
And she feels great now, right? Like she's totally
Yeah, she's
fine.
totally fine. There is no real harm. Any broken bones she may have had in the fall, just gone.
Then she'll give Evelyn a look like, "Fellow adventurer," and then jump out of her arms
Okay.
and brandish her sword.
Yeah. Okay.
God damn it.
And she goes to like aid DF. She doesn't like actually, stab anybody, but she
Right.
goes like and takes position at his side, like his little like sidekick.
Great. Evelyn, are you happy to be done at this point, or
That would just.
that was your action to lay on hands?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all she needs to do.
So, Diath, at this point, you've now got this girl waving a wooden sword at the dwarf, who calls out,
Great.
"Ebo! Scareth! we're done here. You should go back to the lair and tell the Xanathar victory. They've been duly intimidated by our presence.
Dieth will then take Nazca and actually like turn around by the shoulder, still sword pointing at him, and just kind of keep talking to him, and will say, "Remember, I'm letting you live because you need to tell Xanathar. I know what he's after. I know the Zentarum are after it too. Just leave us alone. Let me do my thing, and I can help get you whatever it is that you need."
The Xanathar's crazy. He's not going to stop. He's going to keep coming after you.
Cool.
Until he thinks that you were any harm to him whatsoever.
No amount of harm to him will matter the moment he gets the Stone of Golor.
The what?
Just tell him I can help him find the stone. He'll understand from there.
The stone. I can help him. He can help you find the stone. He
Yes.
can help you find the stone.
Yep, that's right.
He
You
can
got
help
it.
you find the stone.
Overhearing this whispering, Evelyn's like, "Oh, what a ruthless agent of the Xanathar! Woe is me!"
Strix, you're in the garbage pile,
Yes.
being devoured.
This
And
is
Oh.
my fate.
what would you
Can I
like to
One
do?
does.
Can I still get an action?
You haven't actually acted yet, so
Yeah.
you go after Strix.
So as like Nazca starts repeating that to himself, Dia's like, good. Now, if you'll excuse me, and he like leaps backwards, does like a spinning slash back at the trash monster that Strix is like stuck in.
Okay. Go ahead and have at it. And Strix, what would you like to do?
Well, I just dropped my staff.
Correct. While you're engulfed by this creature, you are blinded and restrained and unable to breathe.
I want to say for the record, because I know Strix is stuck in there, I'm actually going to use human determination to take advantage on this attack roll.
Okay.
Because I don't want the critical miss. Oh, much better. 22.
Okay, that's going to hit.
Good. Now, since I had advantage on this attack roll, would you say that this was a sneaky attack?
Absolutely.
Many dice.
You have an ally engulfed in trash. next to you.
Strix, are you doing anything while this is going on?
I don't. I'm just like. I'm just muttering to myself. Being like,
Okay.
I knew this was going to I guess this. I felt a little bit better, but that's just really what it is. That's just and I've lost my staff. It's now tumbled out of my hand, and
It's 26.
26. Okay.
Yeah.
You are able to slay the garbage monster. It just sort of falls apart around her. And Strix, you just sort of sit up in the
I don't
garbage.
sit up.
Okay.
I just slay like that.
Eventually, since at this point in time, the dwarf says, "Okay, I better get back to the Xanathar's lair before I forget."
Dieth will like kind of kneel down to Strix to make sure that she's okay and look back up at Nazca and just say, "Yes, move quickly. Don't forget. And if Xanathar has any wits about him, he'll know that this could be a very profitable investment."
Yeah. And he makes his way back toward the tunnel, and he sort of commands the ogre to follow him.
As
ogre
he's leaving,
yeah.
you hear Paulton from like outside, just like, "Hey, is that Nazca? Nazca here? Oh! Wait, hold on. I'll be down in a minute."
Okay. The ogre just drops the fishing pole and the pinata on the floor and lumbers after Nazca, and the two of them disappear back down the tunnel.
Strix from the floor. You just hear this. I think we should close the tunnel.
Dieth kind of gives her like a.
There's like this spitting sound and this little fountain of garbage, and then you hear her voice.
Yeah. Dieth kind of gives her a look of like, "You're right. Also, that's adorable. Also, like, come on, just kind of like."
All right, we are out of initiative.
You see Paulton like run down as he's gone with just like an axe. He's just like, where'd he go? I mean, not that it's just he owes us rent. So...
I will pick up my owlbear plushie and turn it back into my staff.
Okay.
And then I would like to look at that pinata.
Yeah, you can see it's just lying there on the end of a rope tied to this pole, this 10-foot pole. And that's literally what it is, just like an adventurer's 10-foot pole with this thing strapped to the end of it. But you check out the pinata.
Since we're out of initiative,
Yeah.
Diaz will immediately turn to Evelyn and tell her to find the other children.
Okay, and if we smash that, can I call dibs? The pinata?
Yeah. The other children,
I'm
by the way,
s-
Jenks and Squidly, you can hear Diaz say that through the hole in the floor that you're staring down.
Yeah, make sure they're okay.
Evelyn goes running off, but she's like, pinata dibs!
You got it.
It's like, you got it.
I
totally got dibs while she's gone.
so
Strix
so
says, like, I don't care! Just throws the pinata.
and so real quick before Evelyn flees, you fled to like check for the kids, right, or something like that. Okay, so real quick before Evelyn flees altogether, Narai says, "All of the children are accounted for." She says, "I checked myself, and close the tunnel. I say you should close the house."
Why would you say something
If
like
your
that?
enemies know where you live and can come and knock on your door, or worse yet, burrow into your basement, I would worry for any children you're keeping here. You can have an armory or an orphanage, but not both.
I just disagree.
I mean, no,
I disagree.
Not with that attitude, you can't, buddy.
All right, so Evelyn, you flutter up to the hole in the roof and see Jenks and Squidly there, and Waffles. And
I kind of, fuss over them and check them and see if they're okay.
they seem fine, yeah.
Am I in the same vicinity as Evelyn?
When you come back inside and you're drenched, Paulton, you can see Evelyn fluttering up in a hole in the roof of the tap room.
Oh, I'm just like, hey, when you got a second, he just points to himself, like his arms dislocated, and he's just covered in blood. He's just like
His half disintegrated Diaz clothes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No rush, but not feeling so great.
Oh! Evelyn, I don't know, finishes fussing over the kids, and she's like, Waffles, will you bring them downstairs? And has them get on Waffles so Waffles can bring them down. And then immediately flutters down to Paulton, and she's like, ugh, ugh, ugh.
Yeah,
Try to
it's pretty messed
reset his shoulder.
Yeah, she actually grabs it. She's like, "This is gonna hurt. I'm sorry." Right? Yeah.
Oh, it was good. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. Oh Jesus. Okay. Great.
Kind of cat.
Mm-hmm.
I
Still-
can heal too, and it wouldn't hurt.
Hey,
Yeah, heals. I mean, whoever.
she's laying on hands now to fix it.
Okay, cool, great.
Why'd you
How
do that first?
How many units of feeling bad do you feel?
Are you at a 5 or a 7?
I'm feeling at I'm kind of hanging around a 5 out of 69.
Oh, well, Evelyn grabs his cheeks and she's like, here, just tons of lay on hands. So she gives them, let's see, what do I have? 5 times?
5 times your level.
Yeah, so
And you've used 5 on Nat. So you would have 50.
Right. Yeah, so she gives them all 50. She just
All right. Yeah, this is the biggest juice healing you've ever gotten while you were conscious, so that probably feels pretty good.
It's like, woo! Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, your bones don't hurt so much now.
Yay! Got him. I got it.
Yeah, so all that's left now amid the smoldering wreckage, and most of the fires are still kind of burning in little isolation, little pockets
Yeah.
of flame that have caught things and are just sort of burning merrily away.
I'll direct the unseen servants to get small cups of water and just start
Yeah.
pouring out the fires.
Well,
Did you think you still have cups at all?
So the unseen servants are actually kind of bound to certain rooms. So the ones in
Damn
the
it.
tap room were kind of destroyed last time.
Great. So we're missing a floor, and we have worthless unseen servants now.
Yeah. You still have, you have unseen servants in the kitchen, you have them in the upstairs rooms and the upstairs halls and
Yeah.
things, but yeah.
We can get new ones.
Yeah, I might have to.
Put an ad out on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Has like
kind
a
of-
crowd like gathered outside of the house
No.
after that?
No.
Okay.
So the boom of the explosion would have been quite loud. People would have heard and felt. But the outside of the structure, apart from the busted out windows on the ground floor, the house is still intact. It's fine.
All right. Well, that's good
It's
to
all
see.
internal damage.
All we need to do is make the house stronger. We can do that. Let's just make it impenetrable.
I like that idea. I was thinking actually some like metal plates would go really well here. And Evelyn's kind of going to where the spiral staircase was just finished and then demolished and being like, no, we could put, and she's just optimistically like, this will be better now that this is and she's starting to like drop blueprints in the air and stuff.
Maybe we can steal an iron fence from another building and animate it and walk it over to ours.
We're not stealing anyone's fence.
No.
Unless you guys know of anything any kind of material that's impervious to disintegration beams.
Strix looks crestfallen. It's like,
Not bards.
Yeah. And now you have a tunnel right to the sewers. That's convenient.
Oh yeah, Diaz is thinking about that.
All right. So as things settle down, it still rains throughout the night, on and off.
What happened to Tulip?
So
Yeah. Did she come to or?
no.
Okay. So I'm gonna.
Another
I'll
dead
go-
child.
Oh, right, because Diaz just immediately went back in.
Yeah.
Or no, Paulson, excuse me. Realizing that no one is out there with her,
Yeah.
Narai will immediately. I'll use whatever shadow step I can to make my way out to her and check on her and get her. And yeah.
Okay. When she gets out there, you're pretty sure the kid's dead.
Nice.
Whoop.
Narai.
She did not stabilize on her own.
Narai grabs her anyway.
Yep.
And brings her inside.
Okay.
And says, "Who here can heal?" And
Uh-oh.
her eyes are starting to get wet, and you can't tell if it's rain or not. And she's going to set Tulip on the ground and say, "Please do something, anything."
So when you say you're pretty sure she's dead, Chris, we look at her and we know that like traditional healing is not going to help.
You can make a medicine check, Anna, for Evelyn if you want.
Medicine, I got 15.
Okay. Yeah, she's beyond just healing curatives at this point. She's dead.
Paulton's, oh, go ahead.
Do you happen to have diamonds worth 300 gold?
that's
pieces?
only true resurrection.
No, I have revivify,
Oh yeah.
but I don't happen to have 300 gold pieces worth of diamonds. Usually we don't do spell components, but I feel like that one's a big one. Chris Perkins, I don't know. Do I get to do revivify without the diamonds?
No, you need the diamonds, and you
I
also
should
have
just
to do
carry
it. You also
those
have to do it within a minute.
Oh.
Oh.
Paulton's gonna walk up to the body and just kind of kneel down, and then just like put a hand on her and go, Perkins. If you're listening, how much XP is this one worth? Just whatever. Wow. Feeling really ripped off right now. Okay. And then he like gets back up. He's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do.
We can bury her. Strix just starts like taking her staff and just doing the whole like digging
God.
it into the ground. Maybe she'll be a ghost and can live here. Ghost orphanage. Dig.
Narai's just going to. You see, it's like very much like a get back in there tear kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you see her just like a shudder moves through her, and then it just gets kind of shoved away as she kind of steals her jaw. And she just says, a tiny quaver in her voice, This is what happens when children get tied up in these things.
Evelyn kind of like a tear wells up and she kneels down next to Paulton, next to Tulip, and kind of just like, lays her hands on her and then says a prayer to Lathander about new beginnings and new dawns, but that like this day was too short, basically.
Yeah. And Nat, by the way, is right there as well. The boys are still upstairs with the owlbear making their way down, but she's there.
Yeah.
I would say Nat, the adventurer, maybe has never actually seen someone die before, huh?
Probably not. I mean, this is in Waterdeep. Death is kids aren't necessarily sheltered from it to a great extent. But this is probably the first time she's ever seen somebody like her age.
Yeah.
Die.
I think she is trying really hard to hide it because she's trying to be cool and an adventurer. But I think she's like kind of trembling and like, a tear is running down her cheek.
Yeah. Okay, and then the boys arrive with Waffles eventually.
And they too see dead Tulip.
That's up to you guys.
I think Strix by this point has at least put a crevice in the ground and just like roll her in there.
God. Okay.
Wow.
Oh, Jesus.
What do you want?
She's
She grew up
hardly-
alive. What do you want? She doesn't have any, strength. She's doing her best.
Like in the house, though? Aren't we in the house?
Yes. She's
Like under the floorboard?
in the dirt basement. Like basement's got a dirt floor.
To bury a child under this house.
Do you want hauntings?
Already, yeah, okay.
This is how you get hauntings.
There's a ghost subsidy here in Waterdeep. It's okay.
After everyone starts to yell at her, when she's just, she just looks really upset and is like, well, I don't know what to do. There's too many dead people. And she just runs up to her room.
Okay.
Well, she gets on her broom and flies up to her room, and you hear the door slam. Like a little kid. You just hear the slamming of the door.
Dieth will take a knee next to Tulip and Sister Norai and say, there's nothing we can do for her here, but that doesn't mean it's the end. I know there's Zentarum, I know you have connections, and there's plenty of people here that can help her, but this is beyond anything we can do. We know the children aren't safe, not here, but we will protect them. Well, there are places that we can go and make sure that they'll stay alive. I know the Xanathar are after them.
And I'm going to, so Narai is going to turn to Diath and say, I will do what I may, but until then, pray for a raven. She says, I lost a child of my own to this kind of violence. It's why her other mother left. She said a line of work like mine was no place for a family. And I think she's right. And if you find yourself with enough children around here, I worry for their fates.
Evelyn, like, you can see Evelyn really kind of taking this to heart. Like, this life is no place for a family. And she's kind of moved over to try and comfort the other kids and, like, hug them and stuff. And she's kind of saying, trying to explain death to them and everything. But as she hears this, she's like, you see that really hit her really hard.
It's a hell of a way to grow up.
The rain stops outside.
Yeah.
Squidly's like poking the body with a stick.
Of course he is.
Evelyn's like, stop that.
No, I think she's dead.
Dieth will say then, no.
Actually, Squidly, you might actually know her. So Tulip is also a resident of the city's dock ward. And being a tiefling, you and her probably have crossed paths. You might have met her, or she might have tried to encroach upon your territory or something like that. You probably had many sort of bickering spats with her, but she's another homeless waif who basically eked out a living by the docks. She lived in like a number of dock urchins do in old crates and barrels and things. She probably had a barrel.
Squidly
You
doesn't
always
really
thought she was a horrible person, but
Yeah, he doesn't really convey any of this.
yeah,
It's just like, huh, well, that sucks.
yeah.
Diaz will say to Norai, no, this is no life and no place for children. Do what you will with Tulip. I mean, I can see the personal ties here, and she belongs with you. As for the rest, we can take care of them. We have a place that we can bring them.
We do.
And I ask that you trust us.
You
Yes,
understand how my trust may come with difficulty, considering that I overheard what you said to that agent of Xanathar's.
Right, and I'm glad you did. You think I want to work for the Xanathar at all? But now, if they think at all I'm willing to cooperate with them, I can get you and the rest of the Zentarum much more information than you could ever hope for. They just destroyed my house, almost killed my companions, slayed a child. You think I want anything to do with the Xanathar?
I don't know who you want anything to do with, but positioning yourself between the Zentarim and Xanathar, you're a kite in a hurricane, Diath.
Good illustration.
She's going to set her jaw and say, do you know of any other reason why they may want to break into your house? Any other artifacts or draws they might be looking for? Anything they could use against you were you deprived of it?
Diaz kind of thinks to himself and almost looks up to the others like, is there something that they... Anything they're looking for?
Strix ran to her room.
Yeah.
Strix is in her room. By the way, Strix, when you
she's
get up to
crying.
your room, Strix, you can see that things are kind of knocked out of place by the shutter of the house. You kind of have to sort through all that stuff, put things back up on shelves and things like
I
that.
put it back and I'm like, this is my group. These are my things.
Yeah.
It's not gonna blow up.
The reason that I ask, Diath, is because our informants have traced the location of a powerful artifact to you, and we worry that it may put you in far greater danger than you've anticipated.
What? What the heck did we do?
It's a ring. The Ring of Winter.
Oh.
Oh, we
Slow turn to Paulton.
all of us.
Narai slow turn to Paulton as well.
Go on.
The Ring of Winter is so powerful and puissant that it can be detected by many. And it's an item of power, as I'm sure you know if you've been in possession of it for any amount of time.
Yeah, we met.
If you're in possession of it, I'm offering right now to rid you of it. I know a place where it can be dealt with accordingly. But I worry that if you're to go on retaining it, you could be bringing a great more deal of danger to yourself than is necessary. And we've already seen what kind of danger you've brought to yourself so far. She says, glancing pretty obviously at the body in the corner.
Right. Dead kids. Got it. I don't have it.
Who does?
We don't know.
That's true.
We haven't seen it since... Where the hell were we?
You hear from like Strix's room through the floorboards. The shadow fell.
Yeah, the last I heard, it was taken to a different plane of existence, and from there, it was gone. Paulton rid himself of it. I don't know.
Meanwhile,
Paulton?
Yeah.
Evelyn has Jenks like all snuggled up on her lap and is playing with the little owlbear with us.
He's like, you're nice, lady, and you don't smell bad like the
I
other
think
one.
you're nice too. She's just.
But you don't know magic, so you're not as cool.
I mean,
Good.
no, I'm done.
Paul's just like, so, but it was. Are you saying it was traced here, or they
I'm
were just...
saying that people know that you have it, or at least had it.
But
You're the last known owners. At least as far as our informants know, and they're pretty good at their job.
Yeah, can't be that great.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it, but it seems like you have inaccurate intelligence.
Very well.
We don't have it.
Then we'll keep looking and redistribute. But I warn you, the more power you attract to yourself, the more attention you attract. And the more attention you attract, the more people are going to want a piece of that power.
Yeah, and the more attention and power we attract, the better our show's going to be. It's fine. It all balances out. But regardless, we...
All glance at Perkins.
Like, we don't have it. And so if you can just, like, let whoever thinks we have it know that we don't have it, because like I don't feel like explaining to that, and like every time they have the ring, let's go blow their house up. It's like that's a lot of reno, dude. And like I'm getting to the point where we might need to cut our losses on this property. Like we're gonna put more into it than probably was initially put. So I mean,
This is my room.
This is a house-shaped like shell
Husk.
at this point. Yeah, like.
But it's our home.
Home is wherever we are.
That's a great way to think about it, Polton. And I would strongly recommend that if Xanathar knows where your base of operations is, perhaps it's time to find a new base of operations.
Well, now that I've been told that, I don't wanna.
We'll worry about that, Sister Narai. Until then, take Tulip, and we all hope for your sake, you too find the Ring of Winter, because we too believe it needs to be stored away safely where none can reach it.
It belongs in a museum.
She's going to walk gently over to the corpse, walk quietly over to the corpse, and pick her up and kind of hold her against her, not like kind of like the dead body, like out in front, but almost like a child, and look at all of them and just say, I worry that this isn't over, and I worry how many more it will touch before it is. And then stepping back into darkness, she disappears.
All right, and the shadow engulfs her, and she and the dead child are gone.
Dieth, looking at the children, will then turn towards Evelyn and say, Evelyn, we might need you to pull some strings on this one.
What kind of strings?
Some temple strings.
Oh. Yeah, fine. That's my job.
Okay. The night has been obviously eventful. The rain has stopped, and your guest is gone. Everything is settled down. At this point, there's no point in cleaning up until the morning.
Let's just go to bed. We had a long day.
Yeah.
Can Evelyn, are there any surviving bottles of alcohol anywhere?
Not in the tap room, no.
Okay.
Dang.
For bed that night?
Unless she's got a secret reserve or something. I don't know.
Well, she wanted to bring Paulton something
Okay, yeah.
because she wanted to walk up to him and, maybe she's kind of made sure the kids are okay and everything, and she wants to be like, I don't know this god of yours, Perkins, but I think it's real nice that you're starting to believe in something. I saw you praying to him over a tulip, and I don't know, maybe you could tell me about him sometime.
Oh boy.
Paulton just kind of looks at Evelyn and is just like,
This is not a benevolent god.
the less you know about him, the better, the safer you are.
All right. So do you retire for the evening?
Yeah.
Paulton,
If we go to bed that night, Dieth will actually spend the first few hours in the children's room, making sure that they actually get to sleep. Okay.
Okay. And speaking of which, where have you been? Have you been putting them in basically the guest room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I imagine all three of them were in one room.
Right. Okay. In that case, they're probably surrounded by all of Strix's excess paraphernalia because Strix has been filling up the room with all kinds of herbs and shit. But
she's really upset that her dramatic entrance into her room was interrupted by them having to go to bed. So she's just like still curled up on the floor.
Okay.
Can Evelyn and Dia like act out a bedtime story for them?
Oh, sure.
No.
No. Okay.
Not so much saying.
Not so much.
I don't know
Dia.
any. I actually don't. I don't know any.
Let's tell them the story of Winter Splinter. Let's tell them the story of Winter Splinter. Are you
Oh
ready?
yeah, that was when we were way cool.
So you terrify them about a big, tall, walking, man-eating tree.
We act it out, make sound effects and everything.
Oh, Strix likes that. She gets back up and then is like sitting in the corner and listening in the door.
All right. Well, the kids love these stories about murder and mayhem when they're not, in it. And you tuck them in. They go to sleep, like just another regular day in the Waffle House.
Before bed, Paulton like lays his head down on his pillow. He's just like thinking to himself, and goes, "But who is Brooks Donahue?"
Brooks, the following morning, you walk out to the City of the Dead, the Parkland Cemetery of Waterdeep, and you meet Istrid Horn at the foot of the statue of Agaron, the city's founder. And she says to you, this dwarf, "Do they have the Ring of Winter or not?"
No, it was taken from them. It's in the Shadowfell. The quest continues, I suppose.
Wait for orders.
Yes, ma'am.
Evelyn, you're probably the last to go to bed because you're the night owl.
Is my room still trapped by my robot?
When you walk in the door, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no.
18.
Okay. You open the door, you hear a twang, and this axe comes spinning at your head.
Has seen the axe hucker before.
You probably have.
Like, she's upset.
Yeah, it sort of goes flying out into the hall behind you.
And she's
then
like, "That was a good one, Simon."
You see Simon. Simon is lying lifeless on the floor,
Lifeless.
like pretending to be an inanimate doll. But then he sort of tilts his head up and looks when he sees you, and he just like knocks his head down on the floor a few times.
Oh.
He's adapting.
She goes and like picks him up, and she's just learned a couple signs from him and Nat. So she was like, "That was good, Simon. Good job."
Yeah. He starts to sort of dismantle everything, and he leaves your room with the axe hucker under his arm.
Can she like walk with him to
Paulton's room?
to Paulton's room?
Yeah.
She doesn't want to. If he was hitting his head on the floor, she feels like maybe he's disappointed in himself, and she wants him to feel proud.
Right.
So she wants to go tell Simon about what a beautiful axe hucker he made.
Okay. When you get to Paulton's room, you see Paulton's out, like a light, and so Simon just quietly climbs up onto bed and lies in bed next to him, which he's only been doing since the turret blew up. And so you kind of tuck Simon in, and he does sort of like a fake yawn, and then blinks his eyes and then closes them.
She gives him a little kiss on the cheek,
All right.
and then goes away.
All right, and that's where we'll stop for tonight.
Aw, how nice.
Yay.
He doesn't fall through the floor or.
No.
Poignant and bittersweet. Just have.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then black tendrils come from the wall.
Next episode. Tune in.
All right, before we break, announcements. Brooks.
Yes.
What you got?
Two things. Firstly, I run a LARP here in Washington State. It's called Spite. You can look it up at spitelarp.com. It's all post-apocalyptic. If you ever wanted to play Starship Troopers, that's the thing. You can look it up right now. We're still doing our early admission price. Oh, it's rad. It is rad as hell. We usually get a decent amount of people out there, about 120 or so. But we'd love to really fill up our new site, so come check that out. Also, I am doing an AMA on Reddit immediately, like now. If you need proof, that's my screen name. And I'll be there in a sec to explain who really is Brooks Donahue.
Would you happen to need a link to said subreddit for your AMA?
I don't have a link on me, but if you
I got one, would you like it spammed?
If you could
Spam
spam
that
the
link.
shit out of
Do
that,
it.
thank you. And that's all the announcements I have. Shout out to Jeff Kramer for helping me make this character. Really, just doing a lot of making this character. I love you. And then Jordan for letting me use his house. And I hope to be back soon. You guys were fantastic to play with, and I had a blast.
Yay!
I'll go.
You go.
Holly will cover Birdcage as usual. That's on Thursday when we play D&D. And it was just announced today that Misclicks, the channel that I run, that is all about uplifting geeks and gamers with a focus on inclusivity, has decided to archive the channel and no longer will be doing live streams there. But all of the people who were on the channel and who have participated over the years, and all of the stream shows that exist, including the Misclicks D&D Risen, will all have new channel homes. So no one's going anywhere. Everyone's still doing amazing work around inclusivity in the community, but just the way that the organization was in the status quo, it was time for everyone to kind of go out into the world and spread their wings and do things out there. So we're still going to be in touch. We're still going to be doing amazing things, but the Misclicks channel and the organization itself is kind of turning the page. So that was announced today. And what's coming up then is that on Saturday, we're doing a kind of like final hurrah stream. We're going to have the original cast of Misclicks D&D, including Koibu, RDM, Miss Harvey, Live in Pink, and myself. And that's the cast that I played my first game of D&D ever with. And we're going to be using some of our old characters. I think I'm going to use December, which was my first D&D character ever. And so we're going to play for, 10 to 4 on Saturday on the Misclicks channel. And then we'll have guests from the original Misclicks D&D over the years coming in and out throughout the day. So we would love it if you come hang out. We're going to be raising money for Cyber Smile, which is a charity that works to end cyberbullying. And also all of the money that Misclicks has ever raised that we have banked that we would use for Misclicks things, everything that's left over is also being donated to them. So
that's great.
We would love it if you guys would just come by and celebrate Misclicks with us. And just the message that I want to tell everyone is thank you for everything that y'all have done to be a part of Misclicks. And I'm just really excited for everything that everyone who is still and always going to be a part of Misclicks is going to do next out in the world. So tune in, twitch.tv/Misclicks.
Yay. Birdcage is on Thursday. That's a fun game. I think we can confirm that we have a special guest on Thursday, which is going to be Nate.
Yay!
Ah.
So come watch. It's gonna be fun. Nate's gonna be there. It's gonna be great. They've just caused so many disasters. And also I have a special. I did a pair up with Improved Initiative Coffee for a charity coffee blend for Strix called Stickity Stooks that benefits anxiety gaming, which is awesome charity. So I'm putting that in the chat. So if you guys want to get some Strix coffee, I did a pour over myself. It was chosen. It's a lovely coffee, but it was just a fun charity thing that I did. So if you guys want to help anxiety gaming, that's what it is. Fun. Nate's turn.
Yeah. Thank you. So for those of you who don't already know, Mondays I have another D&D game called Dark and Dicey, which is my sort of evil campaign that I'm a part of. We have it this Monday, which it happens every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time here on twitch.tv/DND. One of the cast members is Zach Callison, who you might know as the voice of Steven from Steven Universe, which transitions me into my next part, which is the Paid and Exposure Tour, which starts next week. I'm touring with Zach. We're going to be hitting Nashville, Detroit, Chicago, Burnsville, Denver, Seattle, and Portland at the end of the month. So tickets are at natewantstobattle.com. It's going to be fun. Come hang out and see a show. And that's all I have.
That actually reminds me of one more thing, which is that we are going to be at PAX West, all of us. And we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. But the one thing I wanted to make y'all aware of right away is that we are doing our Ask the Waffle Crew Anything panel, as we do quite often at PAX's. But I believe this is the first time that we'll have all of us at the Ask the Waffle Crew Anything panel. That's going to be Friday, the 31st of August at 7 p.m. And it will be live streamed this time. So get ready, mark your calendars, and we'll see you at PAX there and at lots of other places that we have yet to announce.
Then I might bring some pies, throw to the audience.
Oh, there you go. Or garbage, whatever.
Look, it tastes better than garbage, I think.
Can confirm, better tasting than garbage.
All right. Sorry, we ran a little bit late today, but it was worth it. Thank you for everybody for watching this super fun game. Thank you, Brooks, for joining us as our guest star. And
Absolute pleasure.
yeah, it was so much fun. And next week we'll be back, same time, same channel, and for more wacky Waffle Crew hijinks.
Yay!
Yeah. Until then, take care of each other.
Bye.
Bye bye.